Book it.
Welcome to Book It Wrestling Podcast for the fans, by the fans. We book, rebook, and revisit your favorite wrestling storylines. I'm your Commissioner X Fudge, and today we are here with your GMs, Damone D Money.
Why did Run DMC do a version of the DX song?
Great question. The bad guy, Kenny.
Book it.
High Five, Mike.
Party on, Garth.
I am Travie T.
I can't believe we let this motherfucker. Whoa!
That was not Travie T.
Don't ever insult me like that again.
That scared
There's
me.
there's a huge difference between me and Joe.
First of all, you're next to each other down there.
Now I can't believe that we let this man just get on here and just say, "Book it" for the pre-intro. Fuck him and fuck y'all for letting that happen. I just want to put my foot down. I did not okay this.
Yeah, fuck him for real. And M. Joe F.
I'm missing World of Warcraft for this.
Damn, that's really important. So what we're missing World of Warcraft for, right? Right, gamers? Is we got Book It first to continue. This is the real shit. This is the meat and potatoes. Perhaps the baked potatoes that Joe eats just by picking them up without butter or anything else.
John,
You eat salad with your fingers.
They need to know that. They need to know that Joe does that. That's diabolical. So when you're like rating his show or listening to his show, just picture him just eating a fucking whole potato, like the fucking carrot or some shit.
I'm doing the word potato with an A.
Potato? We're from the fucking South down here.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I've heard the colorful language you use.
Whoa there, buddy. Whoa there. We just finished Black History Month. We don't do that.
I just said colorful language.
Go to racism jail, Travis. Meanwhile,
I didn't say anything about racism. A hit dog will holler. A hit dog will holler.
That's a good reference used there. Before we all have beef with each other on chat, y'all hear about that Jade Cargill versus the roster beef? Pretty wild stuff. Talking some current events.
We don't do that on this show. We do that on Teeing Off.
Yeah.
You want to talk current events? Get on there. This is evergreen content.
That was just a free plug. You're welcome, motherfucker.
As if we were going to charge him for the plug to begin with.
Yeah. maybe about a cent. I know y'all's budget, but penny saved is a penny earned. Continuing on. We are going on to continue with the Book It verse. And last week we saw the beginning of DPW Miles End, which is the first pay-per-view under the new ownership of DPW, being TDJ, after they bought out the indie company. And bad guy, can you recap what happened last time and then start us off for this week?
Okay. Recap. Oh, Damone's in there. Sorry, threw me off. All right. So last week we started off with the part 1 of 3, because I plan on giving y'all 4 matches each show for the next 3 weeks, including last week. Next week is gonna be just 3 matches, not 4. But yeah, so DPW is pretty much like my WWE, my major company. They are taking over different companies. They just took over the independent company EWO, and we had started off with the World Tag Team Championship, which was Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, and Braun Breaker going up against the Strictly Business, which is Javon Evans and Reggie. Then we had the Women's Tag Team Championship ladder match, which was a fatal 4-way match. And then we had Nice Pac against Jason Hotch, and then we had a 3 Stages of Hell between Tony Storm and Tatum Paxley. And now we'll get into that next one. All right. So we're in the middle of the Harley Cameron with the T podcast, as she asked Lara Valkyria who was next up for her to battle for her women's championship, since she's been champion for the better part of a year and is a fighting champion. Lara says, anybody, and it can even be you that I defended against. I want to make this title mean something. I'm not the champ that runs and hides. I will fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. I'm not hard to find. I'm either in the locker room getting ready or I'm in that ring. Simple as that, Harley. They issue the challenge, I accept. I want to abandon these fans. I was shit on, I was spit on, downright disrespected for a long time by my colleagues. I thought things would change now that I had the belt, but there's even more disrespect now that I have this. They think I don't deserve this, but get ready. This belt will always be in contention. It's going to be a wild ride. So now we're at DPW, and Lara comes out to cheers. Everybody's doing the woo, like from her entrance as she admires the crowd. She calls for Mike, says, TDJ wants us to make a name for ourselves here. So as a fighting champion, I want to give a fair shot to different competitors than the norm. I'll be watching closely as I will give you the chance to face me at Miles End. She gets cut off by the last legend, Chanel Carter. Her music, she says, you don't know. It says, she says, you don't know me now, but you will. She walks around sizing her up. They call me the biggest flexer, the last legend, Chanel Carter. And she says, the biggest flexer? Yes, Hunty, the biggest flexer, because the way I move inside and outside the ring. I might as well call my Amex card tender because I keep swiping. You hear me? And in that ring, I can lift up anyone I damn well please, and they can't do a damn thing about it because I'm the bougie bully and rent is due. And I need my money on time. Okay. She does a little, I can't do that sound, but she does the okay thing. And Lara nods. Hopefully I get the opportunity to see you in that ring. I think we have a lot of great talent in this DPW locker room. I want to make sure that Chanel cuts her off and says, sorry, I hear you and all, but do you mind if I use the sleeve of my Balmain jacket to wipe off the face of my $95,000 Protect? The crowd boos as she wipes it off. Now watch me. And Chanel stays in the ring as Lyra goes to the announce table. Carter has a match against Anna Jay. She makes quick work of her, showing off her power, and keeps looking at Lyra while doing different moves. She finishes with the choke slam from behind that she calls the Dior drop. She looks at Lyra after the win with her tongue out and does a belt motion. Lyra has a match with Abilene Maverick right after. She makes quick work of her as well as she hits the Night Wing for the pin and the win. The next week, the locker room is trashed out, debris everywhere. Lyra comes in and says, what the hell happened here? She picks up a flyer that says, come to Swipe Right's overnight party. And Lyra shakes her head, and we hear, I guess, anything for a fan, right? And Emily J standing there with a Sharpie and signs the flyer that Lyra's holding. Lyra confused says, what? Emily says, I get it. Starstruck, huh? You have the stunner Emily J in front of you. I'd be flabbergasted too. Not every day you get to be in front of a star. And no, I don't take pictures with fans. Lyra says, what? Oh, wait a minute. You're not a fan. You're the DPW Women's Champion. I was mistaken. So you're the placeholder until I get the belt, until I get that belt from you. Man, it's nice to meet you. And Lyra says, placeholder? Do you realize everyone that was considered to be next up left disappointed? I have a match tonight, but you show me why I should be watching you. And Emily J smiles, walking away as Lyra continues to clean. Emily J leaves to have her match against Carmen Petrovic that's already waiting in the ring. Carmen is constantly using her quick kick attacks that are breaking Emily J down. Carmen's about to get the win, but a schoolboy out of nowhere gets Emily J the win as she grabs the ropes too. The crowd boos as Emily taps on the side of her head and smiles. We go backstage. Lyra's still cleaning and is almost done as Emily says, I hope you saw the match, and kicks over a trash can filled with trash. Lyra gets pissed, gets in her face as Emily says, what? And pretending to be clueless, but knowing what she did. We hear Lyra's music hit as she stares her down and walks off. As it's time for her match, as she wrestles PJ Vasa alongside the Samoan Dynasty members, The Rock, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga. The match is very back and forth. Lyra ends up hurting her shoulder when Vasa throws her shoulder first into the ring post as Samoan Dynasty hype her up and shoving her as Lyra's on the ground wincing. It's like that, like, yeah. It's like that kind of shove. The match ends with Lyra fighting back, and then she's doing a springboard drop kick, then finishes her with the Night Wing as the crowd's amazed by the strength for the pin and the win. So the next week, Lyra favoring her shoulder, goes to get advice from Mickie James. She says, I don't get it. I'm the champion. These people don't respect me. Before Mickie James can say anything, Jasmine Nick starts talking and says, maybe because you lack that certain edge. Yeah, we know you follow the rules and are willing to defend anywhere and everywhere. It's cute, but you don't have that edge, sweetie. You're a transitional champion. Everybody here knows it. You may have heart, but are you willing to go to that next level to defend that? If we're being honest, and I mean completely honest, that belt, it would look better on me. The crowd is cheering for her looks and whistling. She goes to touch the belt, but Lyra slaps her hand away. There's that fire. You're going to need it. Everybody's gunning for that belt, so good luck. And Lyra wants to have a match with Jasmine Nix tonight, but Ava tells her to rest her shoulder. She wants her at 100%. She sits back and watches from the sidelines. Jasmine Nix has a match against Anna Jay. The rest of Toxic Solution are out there, which is Tyra Valkyrie and Mandy Rose. Are too much for Anna Jay to deal with. Every time the refs back is turned, they cheat for her. Nix ends the match with a bicycle knee that drops her. She pins for the 1, 2, 3. She looks at Lyra and does the title taunt as Lyra stares her down very intensely. The next week, Sorry, I just went straight down like a whole page. Okay. She looks at Lyra, does the title taunt as Lyra stares her down very intensely. The next week, Ava says Lyra needs to choose who she wants to face at Miles End. Lyra says, you'll have my answer before the night ends. Mason Holiday says she wants to prove herself against Lyra. She wants a shot. Lyra, still hurt, says, well, Ava, what are we going to do about this? Ava says, I want you to sit out this week to not jeopardize Miles End. Lyra says, no, I want to fight tonight. Ava shakes her head and says, you really want to end your career so bad? Go ahead. The crowd cheers at the match, but you better be ready this Sunday for Miles End with a competitor in mind. I need that title to be defended. And Lyra smiles, I'm a fighting champion. That's what I do. Lyra beats Mason with the Nightwing and pins for the win. After the match, TDJ tells Ava he has set up a press conference for Lyra on her upcoming prospect on who will face her at the championship. For the championship. Lyra about to announce her pick, but each of the 4 women that Lyra has been stuck on deciding between because of their latest showings are all up there. Chanel Carter, Jasmine Nix, and Emily J all show up, and each are saying how it's their time and how they believe they can beat her. Lyra is off to the side, and we don't hear the other people. Harley Cameron even comes out and says because she issued a challenge on her podcast, she wants to face her as well. A ringing sound goes off in Lyra's head. The ringing sound goes off in Lyra's head, and she yells out, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" She gets up on the podium and says, "When you are the women's world champion, you can never let your guard down. I have a target on my back at all times. So many options. So I'll say this. To some of you, this may be a smart decision. Some will say this is brave. Some will say it's idiotic. I'm always down for a challenge, and I want all of you where I can see you because I don't trust any of you. I'll take all 4 of you on." The crowd cheers. Ava tries to stop her as TDJ smiles. Ava says, "Wait, are you sure? You aren't even at 100%. You don't have to do this." And Lyra doesn't even look at her. And she says, "I'm no longer being humble. When I say I'm a fighting champion, I meant it. I don't believe in playing it safe. I've watched every one of you, and I know I can beat all of you by yourselves." And they all look offended as she looks them all up and down as she walks determined with her belt. "I've always kept my head on a swivel because I know the time will come when I'll eventually be losing this. But one thing you can say about me is I back down to no one." The crowd chants Lyra. "This way, I won't have to worry about anyone sneaking me. I will deal with all of you head on. You all don't respect me? Fine. I'm going to make you respect me." I don't know what that word was. I typed in there weird. "As I fight all of you and raise that title up. Because under pressure is when we find out who we really are, and I know who I am. I am your DPW Women's Champion, and I'll die defending this title. There's no formula to being a champion. Every road is different, so to each and every one of you in this ring, bring it, because I will." Her music hits as she walks out, and the rest of the women are pissed off, like talking mess as she walks away confidently. So Chanel Carter comes out to Brokey by Lotto, as Lotto's performing beside her as they both dance. Carter has all white Balmain tights on with the matching top with black Tom Ford wrestling boots. Then Jasmine Nix comes out to booze as Mandy Rose and Taya Valkyrie are by her side as she's dressed in all black with silver trim. Emily J comes out to paparazzi as she's autographs the camera in blue Sharpie, dressed in green with black trim. We see a silhouette against the white background posing, showing off her figure. Then ripping through the background, we see Harley Cameron coming out in all pink with white trim smiling. And then smoke fills the stage as Lyra Valkyria gets up slow with her wings in a blue wrestling outfit, with blue wings and a black trim. The match starts and everyone jumps Lyra. They take turns beating her up, and Chanel does a military lift and throws her over the ropes as she lands ringside, favoring her shoulder. Emily grabs Harley and does a tornado DDT, kicking off Chanel to finish it. Lyra goes for a running springboard back elbow, but is caught with a stiff elbow from behind from Chanel. She gets up, favoring her shoulder. Jasmine does a capoeira kick to Lyra that wows the fans. Harley does an enziguri party on everyone, but does 3 of them to Chanel to get her to finally drop to one knee, and then does a shining wizard. Chanel German suplexes Harley Cameron off the apron and into the barricade. The crowd is hyped as she's laid out. Jasmine does a flying DDT to Emily J on the apron. We see multiple replays of this. Lyra does a head scissors to Harley, sending her flying through the ropes, and Harley is slow to get up. Lyra does that running like dropkick plancha, but Harley grabs her legs and spins her and then does a German suplex on Lyra's bad shoulder. Chanel tries to choke slam Jasmine and Emily at the same time, but they both kick her in the gut and go for a double DDT. But Chanel lifts them both up on her shoulders and tosses them. Chanel then picks up Emily off the ground and hits her with a one-handed power bomb to wows from the crowd. She pins 1, 2, then all the 3 women jump over and stop the pin as the crowd's loud and clapping as they all lay there. Jasmine is ripping off the top turnbuckle. Chanel catches her and lifts her up and tosses her into a group to her group ringside. Lyra tries to lift Chanel for a Nightwing, but her size is too much and Lyra's shoulder can't do it. Chanel big boots her, but as she's falling, Chanel quickly grabs her wrist, then does a stiff elbow that drops her. Harley goes for a diving crossbody, but Chanel catches her in midair, does a world's strongest slam onto the ground. Emily J goes for a running crossbody. She catches her out of the air and does a world's strongest slam on her on top of Harley. They're both on the ground favoring their backs. Chanel picks them both up at the same time as the crowd is wild. She tosses them both over her head and gets up flexing. Lyra ducks the lariat from Chanel Carter and then does a cartwheel. When Chanel tries to come back for a shoulder block, Lyra does a sweep. When Chanel gets on a knee, Lyra does a running dropkick to her face. Lyra does a missile dropkick punch to Emily J now. And then Lyra hits the Nightwing to Emily J and she pins 1, 2, 3. The crowd cheers. She holds up the title. The screen goes black and we hear music playing. Zeta Steele's name shows up on the screen as the crowd is loud due to people knowing her indie work. The dirt sheets were right. She's here, Cole. She's here. The real deal Zeta Steele is now in DPW. And she looks around as the crowd chants, holy shit. She smiles at her. Lyra lifts her belt up with one hand. Zeta eyes the belt above her, smiles and leaves and does a title motion as the intense stare down while Zeta backs up keeps going. And
Okay. I'm gonna give you a 4. I really like the story you did with Lyra, like building her up as the fighting champion, like defending the title against all comers. Did a really good job with that. She the right person won. She should have won this match. A good segue into the next person. The only reason it's not a 5, it's one of those things that's really hard to do when you have this many people in a feud. Is it wish there was a little bit more character development with the other people, if that makes sense. But that's really hard to do when you have that many people in the match. The match is really good. Right person won. At least I'm gonna give it a 4.
okay.
I can go.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with the Moan said. I also really liked that promo at the beginning with like the Amex swiping reference.
Oh, Last Legend.
yeah, that was great. I love that. I popped for that. And also I like your reveal of people better than mine with my big men. So definitely a good pointer there. So I'm gonna give it a 3.75.
3.75. Okay, I'll take that.
I kind of am like, I agree with a lot of the points about the match being really good. I actually am on the opposite end of Joe, where I really didn't like that opening promo particularly. But otherwise, like everything else was pretty good, and I do agree with the Mo that the right person won. I think this was solid, but not like amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
I agree with what John said 100% across the board, including the number.
Same.
All right. Getting to the next one. All right. So we see different stills of Ren Sinclair with stock colorful backgrounds for a hit show, Happy Wednesday. We cut to the ring and we see Adam Rose in a sleeveless tuxedo with a microphone. Happy Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Adam Rose and I need you to stand up. Make some noise for the beautiful brawler, the queen of the one-man team and the host with the most. She is Ren Sinclair. And Ren's music hits the boos from the crowd as she embraces it and smiles and gives people a wink and a gun. Adam sits on the middle rope so she can get in. She gets a mic and says, Happy Wednesday. I'm Ren Sinclair, and I have a little treat for you today. I have a special guest. Give it up for Mystico. And Mystico comes out. He sits down and Ren says, Mystico Jr., welcome to Happy Wednesday. Now tell me, how excited were you when you got the call that you were going to be on my show? And Mystico, a little confused, says, really excited? I understand how you would be. How does it feel to sit across from me? I know you're booming with excitement. I mean no disrespect, Ren, but I thought you were here to ask me questions. I don't know if your English isn't so good, but I'm clearly asking you questions. I mean about my career, upcoming matches, things like that. Oh, well, we got plenty of time for that. So let's all say what we're thankful for when it comes to my career. Then I guess we can talk about you. Mystico looks confused as Adam Rose spouts out all the things he's appreciative for when it comes to Ren. Ren looks at Mystico and says, as he says, I guess you had a good career. Oh my gosh, this is great. Last question. What's next for Mystico Jr.? Mystico looks like, what? And then when he's about to talk, she cuts him off and says, well, what do you know? I hear a word from our sponsors. That's all the time that we have. That is another Happy Wednesday. See you next week. Bye. And then she grabs her wrist and does a little taunt she does. And we see producers say, that's a wrap. As Ren is getting her makeup touched up more. And she says, great interview, guys. Mystico looks confused and feels like it was a waste of time and says, if you spent more time training instead of doing this, you'd probably be champ by now. Adam Rose says, whoa. No need to be hostile. I'm not being hostile. This is hostile. He starts swinging on Adam Rose. The crowd cheers, and he clotheslines him out the ring. He's slow to get up as Mystico rips his shirt off and does a suicide dive. Heyman comes out and makes the match official. Mystico makes quick work of Adam Rose. He makes him tap with the La Mystica, which is like a running tilt-a-whirl head scissors single arm DDT into a Fujiwara armbar. Later on that night, we see a limo pull up, and we see Ruby Rose get a mixed reaction. Adrian Broner follows and gets the same reaction. Later on that night, they come out and call for a mic. What's good, DPW? Now, I know y'all love a good Cinderella story, rags to riches, but you see us finally making it, you hate us. You love the journey, but once we reach the destination, you don't mess with us. We all came from the streets. We came from the trenches, man. Now we self-made millionaires, and we about billions. You got the problem, AB, Adrian Broner, but you can call me the Can Man because anybody can get it. Americans, Africans, Mexicans, anybody can get it. You also got the baddest in the game taking over the media world, Ruby Rose, and the notorious Conor McGregor. And the crowd gets loud with boos and cheers as people get on their feet. So get off your ass and clap your hands for your future champion. The crowd gets louder as Notorious by Biggie Smalls plays. Conor comes out smiling in his designer jacket with a mic in his hand. We made it, baby. Conor McGregor's in DPW. The crowd gets even louder. Announcers are in like amazement because they can't believe he's here. Conor is on your TV. All the men out there, you're lucky. Your girl's soaking in her panties because I'm on your screen right now. You're welcome, New York. And the crowd cheers. Thank you to all of you in attendance. It's been a long time since I've been on the screen, but don't forget, I run this shit. This is my home. Imagine that. Adrian, brother, you were speaking the truth. And speaking of the truth, it's a damn shame I can get on this mic and say anything. I can lie my ass off, but one thing about this square circle is this ring can't lie. It's going to expose you every time, whether you like it or not. I'm notorious for a reason. See, it's not about how many people you went up against. It's about who you went up against. I'm a different breed. Adrian Broner is a different breed. And don't get it twisted. Ruby's been in the gym too, getting her reps in. Shit, TDJ has the pull. Ruby Rose versus Nikita Lyons. Book that. I would love to see her kick her ass. So, at Miles End, I will have my match. I've already talked to Teddy. I will have my debut match against one of the top luchadors in the world, Mystico. The crowd cheers. You like him, huh? And not only will I go up against him, he will be putting his Latin American championship on the line. And the crowd's confused as the announcers say, wait, he can do that? Hey, Mystico, see you next week and bring that title. Him and the rest of the group laugh as the crowd is still confused. The next week, Mystico is going against Dirty Dom. Dom can't seem to get going as Mystico's too fast for him. The group about billions comes out the booze now, and Ruby Rose gets a sarcastic wave to Mystico mid-match. They come out to do guest commentary as Mystico seems distracted by Conor. Mystico goes to grab Dirty Dom, and Dirty Dom does a quick roll-up for the 3 count. As the crowd is shocked as Dirty Dom quickly rolls out of the ring as he has an arm up. Conor gets up clapping. He gets in the ring with the rest of the group. He has a mic and says, so you're the champ? My first match checking you out, and this is what I witnessed? I'm not impressed. A champ can't be taking L's. And the crowd boos, knowing he was distracted by Conor and took the L. Mystico, you lost to Dirty Dom. I feel like you shouldn't be worthy of that gold. It sounds like Dirty Dom is the one I should be talking to. He's the true champ. Mystico nods his head, smiling, then starts swinging. Conor quickly gets out of the ring as Adrian Broner and Ruby Rose are checking on his face as Conor continues to talk shit walking up the ramp. Ruby yells, he fights when the contract says. That was assault. The next week, Mystico has a rematch against Dom. Dom is getting beat down this time again. And until Mystico is getting charged up and he's getting ready for his finisher, until Dom gets Superman punched by Conor McGregor. The crowd boos as he laughs. The ref DQs Mystico, and Dom gets the win now. The crowd boos, and Conor says, looks like you won yet again, Dom. And Dom's like laid out, knocked out, and laughs even harder as Dom is won by DQ. He walks by and hears Sorry, 1 second. It went down again. He walks by and hears himself being referred to as cocky and despicable by the announcers. Mystico, pissed off, charges at Conor, and Conor hits him with a Superman punch as well. Conor walks around and says, "What's wrong? I want to hear it again." That's what I thought. Now, to the rest of you, I talk like this because who's going to shut me up? Now we're even. He hit me, I hit him back. You think I give a damn what these internet nerds have to say about me? I'm the one everyone talks about. This is business. You can't say I can't wrestle, but you still buy tickets to see me in the fight of my life. You pay to see me lose and get disappointed. You need me. So fuck your Ric Flairs, fuck your Stone Colds, fuck your Dwaynes. I don't care to be the best. I'm here to get paid and look good doing it. You can't spend respect. Shout out to TDJ. I will be the next Latin American champion. I'm going to take this place over. That title is mine. He starts to walk away, and we hear him say, "Oh, yeah, one more thing." And he hits another Superman punch on Mystico while he was getting up. He puts him in a guillotine choke as Conor laughs. He has his tongue sticking out with his mouth open, and security pulls him off. They escort about billions away. Now, the next week, he gets real close to the camera and says, "Can Mystico come out to play?" He dies laughing. Mystico's music hits. He gets in the ring with about billions. He looks at all of them as they stare him down. "I'm willing to fight you right here, right now, here in Tallahassee, Florida, in front of this sellout crowd." The crowd cheers loud. Conor looks around and says, "Is that what you all want to see?" The crowd gets loud. "You want to see Conor show off what he can do?" The crowd gets even louder. "Then get on YouTube and check out the highlights, because I'm not fighting tonight. Not because we're in this town of meth heads. I just don't fight for free. I'm a prize fighter. So I'll see you next Sunday. Make sure to bring what's mine, too. I'll see you soon, Mystico." He turns and tries to get another Superman punch off, but Mystico expects it and hits Mystico to cheers as Conor taps. Broner and Ruby Rose come to his aid as Conor clutches his shoulder as Mystico points at him and walks off. So now it's the night of the main event. I'm sorry, the main event. The night of the event. Conor comes out in green trunks with the white fur coat and designer glasses with Adrian Broner and Ruby Rose by his side. Mystico comes out dressed in all black with the DPW Latin American Championship on his waist. Mystico's ready to lock up. Conor immediately drops to his back and gets in BJ in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stance. Mystico's confused and tries to stand over him, but Conor takes advantage and flicks him in the eye. The crowd boos. He kips up and taunting with his arms out, looking at the sky as Mystico's bent down, dealing with his eye. Conor slowly walks up and grabs him for a DDT, and he kicks off the turnbuckle and does a tornado DDT. "Now that's lucha!" And the crowd's booing. Conor Irish whips Mystico, but he hits a handspring back elbow that drops Conor. Mystico does a running wheelbarrow snapmare. At one point, Conor goes for a mounted ground and pound. Mystico uses his legs to wrap his arms, he kind of kicks his legs up and brings him down. And then he kips up and does a standing moonsault. Conor tries to pull off his mask, and Mystico kicks off the ropes and pins in a bridging position as Mystico kicks out. Mystico does an arm wrench and does a rope walk and does a flipping DDT. Mystico does a Northern Light suplex, then picks him up for another, and then hits it again. Conor outside the ring tries to gather himself with Adrian Broner, making sure he's all right. Mystico eyes Conor and runs and bounces off the ropes and goes for a corkscrew plancha, but Conor pulls Adrian Broner into the way as he gets hit instead. Conor does a running knee lift to him. And at one point, Conor does a belly-to-belly suplex into the corner. Mystico leapfrogs over Conor at one point and springboards off the ropes and does a tornado DDT in midair to wild from the crowd. Mystico does a running tilt-a-whirl head scissors. And at one point, Mystico does a Spanish fly off the top rope to him. He pins 1, 2, but Conor kicks out. The crowd's amazing. He was just still has life. Conor picks him up for a powerbomb and runs with him and does a sitting powerbomb. They both run and do a lariat, and they're both hit by it, and they both lay there. Conor, very tired, is slow to get up. Mystico starts getting charged up, and he sets up for the Mystica. Adrian Broner, rig side, trips Mystico before he can hit it. It turns around to Conor doing his bow and arrow taunt, then does a Superman punch. And Mystico's body stiffens up, and he drops. Conor falls to his knees, and Michael Cole says, "Not like this, not like this." And he covers him. 1, 2, 3. The crowd boos as Adrian Broner and Ruby Rose embrace Conor as he's cracking up laughing as the referee hands him the belt. The crowd boos even louder as Jim Ross says he's made a mockery of the lucha culture and is now the DPW Latin American champion. Conor laughs as his mouth is open with his tongue out as his team continues to embrace him.
Okay, I'll start.
Was Mystico's wife in his DMs?
No,
My wife was in me DMs.
He was not. Or she was not.
I failed to like any party that you presented in this story. I know I'm going in with like some like, preconceived notions, and I'm really trying to put those to the side because I don't fuck with like Conor McGregor in the slightest and don't want to see him in wrestling ever. I think that would be one of the worst things to ever happen. And I'm not gonna say this is like horrible and awful because it really wasn't, but it wasn't for me. And I think that's the thing is that like there were so many unlikable heels, and like the babyface wasn't likable enough for me to get into it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like Mystico, he's fine, and like there was nothing done with him that made me like really like care about him. So it's just like, damn, there's like all these annoying motherfuckers, and then there's this guy that I'm like kind of okay with that they're all picking on. I kind of just want this segment to be over, not like, for Mystico to win that bad. It's not horrible. I'm gonna give this like a 275.
Okay. Yeah, he's supposed to be like Conor's like that dick heel. He doesn't respect wrestling at all, and he's just coming to make a mockery of the Latin culture. That was his whole thing. And like I said, now he's a champion. Now he's really about to act a fool now.
Yeah, him
I really
winning
like
is
the line where
diabolical.
he's-
You said what?
Go ahead, Joe.
Nope, you.
Oh. What I was gonna say is I really like the line, "You can't spend respect."
Yeah.
That was fire. That's a fire line. I'm gonna give this a 3.5. Like I like the Connor stuff in it because like I used to be a Connor fan, but it also does feel very Connor-ish, like the panties thing, the red panty night or whatever, like that stuff, and being just a cocky dickhead is the best Connor. And I do agree with John where Mystico is very like he's a good wrestler, and that's pretty much it. So like I'm not really like rooting for him outside of just not wanting Connor to win. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a 3.5.
Okay, I'll take that.
I can go next. I really liked what you did with McGregor. I thought that he was built overall really good for this. I also agree that I kind of wish that there was more of something for Mystico, because there really wasn't too much for him. But I will say, like, I really like that McGregor won this. I'm not a huge McGregor fan, but I really like that he won this because it kind of goes with like the theme of your show. Like he's just coming in and just taking shit over. So
Yeah.
I really like that. I'm giving it a 415.
415.
Yeah.
So-
go ahead.
You got too many rich dickheads on your show. I just want to put that out
I feel
there.
like that's the point.
Is it?
With
Are they all
TDS.
together? Is it one big?
I have
Well, he-
This
three.
show is the rich
Well, he's a
person's
poor-
ball.
He's
I have 3. You just happen to see 2 of them
he's
back to back.
he's
but
a
I
poor
have 3.
dickhead. So
I mean, I got TDJ, I got Connor,
Yeah.
and I got Lash Legend.
Well, I mean, Connor's whole group is rich dickheads.
But the thing is, I will say this: the rest of the group don't wrestle; they're just there to help him.
I hate that even more. Like,
I'm not about to do a Ruby Rose match when I got all this talent.
you should have done a goddamn Conor McGregor match. That's the thing.
I mean, look, he's here disrespected.
I don't know. I'm pretty much on the same page as John, except I did find one person I enjoyed. Ren Sinclair. I think you did a great job bringing Ren Sinclair to life. I think that was one of my biggest feedbacks to you last week. And it just overall is like your character work and thinking like how it feels like every character is the same. Ren Sinclair, completely different. You like stepped out of your comfort zone. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a stipend for that. And I'm going to give you a 3.10.
Okay.
happy Wednesday.
I kind of felt the same way Travis did. He said it. He said what I would say. I'm gonna give you,
But better.
Yeah. I'm just gonna give you a 3 though.
All right, I'll take that. That's fine.
I think
No
you could have
stipend
picked
for him.
anyone else other than Mystico. I think that's.
Well, with Mystico, he's just kind of like he's just a typical white meat baby face. Like, it's not to say there's not much to him, but he's just kind of like, I'm the champion. He gets beat down. Like, he's just there to defend his belt. He was supposed to fight, and Conor McGregor is not trying to fight him.
I think it could have been a different. I think it could have been a different baby face.
There is
so if his name was different, you would give me more points.
No, I think if you would have picked a different character, somebody with character.
Oh, well, so he's gonna be doing a lot of Mexicans. So, just warning you.
Eddie Guerrero's out there somewhere.
All right.
I have Eddie. He's in RCW.
I already got my people playing that he's going up again. The next one. So it's announced a few pay-per-views back, so we're going back to Boiling Point. Bailey and Layla L are two-time DPW Tag Team Champions, as Bayley are looking to win tag gold after losing back-to-back attempts to the Dark Circle, which is Tracy Nix and Killer Kelly. They come out dressed in similar black wrestling tops.
Wait. Did you say the name? Did you say the name of the group is Bayley?
Yeah, Bayley.
I hate that.
It's that old. I want to do that old school, like not old school, but like that ruthless. Was it Ruthless Aggression era? Yeah, Ruthless Aggression era. But all they did was
Ruthless Aggression era. Like
yeah.
So
they just smashed the names.
Combine the names.
I feel like you've done that a lot. You've done that a lot this pay-per-view.
Only did it once.
I don't.
Only did it one time.
Well, then it was close last time with the
Well,
women's.
that's too much.
I was gonna. No, I said
he is right. That is too much.
It was Soul Chance. I put them together, but
Yeah.
So there's two. So
there's two,
and that's too many.
But again, they're not
So
part
with
of
the chance
it's
to
part of the
meet
bill.
both.
It's part of the bill.
Knicks with dicks? What
What
was the last one you had?
Is Chicks with Kicks.
Chicks
Well, none
with
of
Kicks.
them are named that. Like, none of them are named. Neither one's named Chick.
I have
or
a question.
What's
I
up?
have a question. Is Cora Jade Hispanic?
I thought it was just a white woman.
Okay, I'm confused by like. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm seeing that it's a fatal four-way in the picture. I was thinking it was.
I was like confused. Like, this is a pop quiz. Like,
I thought Dakota Kai versus Cora Jade. I wasn't reading the words. I was just looking at the pictures. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I get my knowledge from books too. I saw them and I thought they were just backing her up. And I was like, why is Chicas Locas out here with Cora Jade? This is wild.
No, you'll see. So, like I said, Bayley, they come out in a close matchup. Bailey is on the apron hype and reaches out for the tag, but Killer Kelly pulls Layla's leg back as she's reaching out. She puts her in an ankle lock, a move that she's never finished anyone with. But with her working the leg the entire match, she puts her in an ankle lock, and Bayley McCord's like begging her not to tap, and the pain is too much, and she gives up. The bell rings as Dark Circle grab their belts and leave the ring cheering. Bayley checks on Layla's leg. Can't say that. Layla's leg, and is pissed, like kicking random turnbuckles, but looking out for her best friend. The all-female Cholo group, Chicas Locas, comprised of Zelina Vega and Raquel Rodriguez, come out to their signature music, dressed in their usual gang attire. They come out as Bayley are clearly frustrated, but Chicas Locas love to attack people when they're at their weakest. After seeing weeks of Chicas Locas jumping people, Bayley grabs a chair in preparation for them. The music stops as they are talking back and forth. Layla gets up, trying not to put weight on her leg as she hobbles. Bailey's going off on them, then stops and smiles and turns and cracks Layla's head with an unprotected chair shot to the point it looks like she's wearing the chair around her neck as she falls over. Bailey has a stale look over her, like on her face, as she walks over to her slow as the crowd boos and she points out her talking mess. The crowd is loud as she stands over her and she looks at the hard cam with the new group as they all put their signature L's in the air. It's the first episode back on Thursday Night Throwdown. Bayley comes back and she says, "Allow us to reintroduce ourselves. For years, Chicas Locas was a dominant tag team here in DPW, but lately they have been lacking one thing: direction. That's all they needed. And with my guidance, we will run this company. As you see here, you may know the spicy Zelina Vega wielding her signature baseball bat. She raises it up and smiles, pulling down her bandana from over half of her face, where we can only see her eyes before. Then I have my muscle, a tank of a woman by the name of Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel standing there with her arms crossed, adjusting her bandana from her head and looking over her glasses. With their leader, Davina Rose. The person you know as Bailey is dead. Davina Rose plans on changing this women's division for the better. So fall in line or get your ass dusted, you idiots. Chicas locas, let's roll. Vamos. They leave, and Zelina pretends to swing her bat at a kid in the audience as Davina Rose laughs at the kid and calls him stupid for flinching. Acting as sort of a shady politician, she's slowly taking over the women's division with her goons and calls herself a role model to the point to the children to be what they aspire to be. Over weeks of this. This team is taking out people one by one over the course of several months. Meanwhile, Dakota Kai and Cora Jade are in the finals of the Iron Woman tournament, where every match is a 20-minute Iron Woman match, and the winner gets a contract to get a shot at any title they want. Both are loved by the crowd and put on 5-star matches with the competition, but considered underrated by the masses. It is 2-2 between these two women, and both women aren't giving up. We're in the final minute. Cora has Dakota in the crossface. Dakota grabs the rope. Ref reminds her rope breaks don't matter. And before we could get a win, before we can get a winner, Chicas Locas show up and beat them both up. Since it's a no DQ match, the crowd is booing as we don't get a winner, and it is tied as Chicas Locas continue to beat them up. Dakota gets thrown into the steel steps several times by Raquel. Zelina hits Cora in the gut and back several times with the bat. And Davina comes out late and gives a thumbs up and thumbs down as Raquel does a Tejana bomb to Cora through the announce table. Davina grabs the contract and signs it. TDJ comes out with security, and Chicas Locas quickly disperses. Taya Valkyrie the next week puts on a technical display against Cora. She is working the arm. Cora goes to lift Taya, but it's too much. Mandy tries to get in the ring, and the ref is distracted by her, and Taya does a running knee that drops Cora. Taya quickly pins for the 1, 2, 3. The crowd boos as she laughs, and Mandy Rose grabs her from behind, and Taya laughs menacingly. They leave as Cora sits there favoring her arm and still dazed from the knee. The next week, Chicas Locas are out there. Davina is doing her spiel about how the crowd looks up to her, and Raquel is smiling with her arms crossed. We see the Titantron cut to Zelina in the locker room, favoring her back. Davina looks confused as who she thought was Zelina's behind her, backing up slowly and hits the back of her leg with the bat. Raquel charges at her, and as they pull the bandana, revealing it's Cora Jade, dressed like her, covering the majority of her face with the bandana. Raquel quickly grabs Davina and rolls her out of the ring as Cora gets a loud applause, standing one foot on the bottom rope and another foot on the middle rope as she raises the bat, and she does a shooting motion with the bat aiming at both of them. Later that night, Taya is in a match with Dakota Kai, and Dakota is in a very back and forth match until Taya hits a roll up while Mandy holds her leg down from the side out of the ref's view. The crowd boos as she quickly rolls out of the ring. The boos from the crowd as Dakota looks pissed. TDJ is trying to decide who will be the number one contender the next week for the DPW Women's Championship. Dakota Kai and Cora Jade are both arguing why they should be going at it one more time. They want to finish their series since there are 2-2 against each other, and had a tied Iron Woman match before Chicas Locas came in and went to decide who finally wins between the two. Davina says, then we can also figure out who's more durable between you two as well, since your knees break more than Dollar Tree action figures. They both get in their face as she says, what? Do you think I'm scared of you two? And she says that Chicas Locas pop up behind her. We run this division. There's a reason why these two got to play musical chairs with your heads. Don't make it happen again. Now, TDJ, go ahead and give me the number one contendership. Before TDJ can speak, Taya Valkyrie comes in as well. Did we forget I also beat Cora and Dakota in separate singles matches, proving I'm better than the two women you were about to put as a potential number one contender? She smiles while Mandy Rose and Jasmine Nix behind her. They all start yelling over each other, and TDJ frustrated yells, I'm sick of this. This will not go on any longer. This has become too much. We're going to settle this now. It will be Dakota Kai versus Cora Jade versus Davina Rose versus Taya Valkyrie. And this match will be a fatal 4-play Iron Survivor match. 25 minutes, no rules, one prize. Winner will have the contract, and they can cash in on an official match with any champion of their choosing. The crowd cheers as all four stare each other down. It's now the event, and we see all of them walking down different hallways in their wrestling attires. In the pre-show, different wrestlers ask who their money is on for the Iron Survivor match. The Hurricane says, have you seen Dakota Kai? That girl has determination in her eyes and fight in her heart. That girl will get that contract and become the future women's champion. Ariana Grace says, I don't know. It's hard to go against Davina Rose. She has literally taken over the women's division. All she needs is the belt. It only makes sense these women have nothing on her. Otis of Ivar and Otis says, I got my parlay in and my money's on Big Aura Cora Jade. Ooh, yeah. And then Mandy Rose says, Taya Valkyrie is, of course, going to be the champ. Are you stupid? Never bet against Toxic Solution. Now get that camera out of my face. So now it's the night of the match. Taya Valkyrie comes out in a white wrestling top in tights with red accents with red fur boots and a white fur coat with Mandy Rose and Jasmine Nix walking her down. Dakota Kai comes out in all black with pink accents with black hair with blue highlights on it. Cora Jade comes out in an all red outfit with white and pink accents. The crowd cheers. Davina Rose comes out with Chicas Locas and a black top, black jeans with a red bandana on her neck. The match kicks off, and they're all in front of a respective corner as they all eye each other. Cora and Dakota try to meet up with each other, but keep getting interrupted by Ty and Davina by the other two. Dakota has Davina in the corner, choking her as the ref is telling her to chill out, since he can't technically DQ her. Dakota, being a good person, lets go. Davina sees the opportunity and kicks her knee out of place. She favors her knee as she drops to the ground. Davina keeps stomping on that knee as the crowd boos. Cora goes for a shoulder block on Davina, but it barely moves her. Davina tells Cora to do it again. She does it again. It's the same result. She says, do it again. So Cora fired up, goes for one more, but Davina quickly hits her with the kitchen sink. Cora's on the ground holding her gut as Davina cracks up laughing and calls her stupid. Taya's body is leaned over the middle rope. Davina does a springboard curb stomp that drives her head into the mat. She still favors her legs from Davina's leg attacks earlier as well. Davina slowly puts Dakota in a figure 4 leg lock as the crowd boos. She punches at her leg and tells her to tap. She fights it. She's fighting it until Cora does a slingshot leg drop on Davina that makes her let go. Davina does a running forearm smash on Cora. Davina gets up slow, smiling, doing the Chicas Locas taunt, which is like, the L thing. And then she does a running punt to Cora's stomach. Taya goes for a running neck breaker, and Dakota twists it into an X Factor. While Davina Rose and Dakota are fighting, Taya goes for a super kick on Dakota, then hits a code breaker on Dakota. When Taya gets up, Taya is met with a kick in the gut by Cora, then hits her signature snap double arm DDT on Dakota Kai. Cora quickly pins Dakota Kai. 1, 2, 3. Cora now has a point. Dakota favors her neck while walking to the penalty box. Dakota gives her a look as she spends 60 seconds in the penalty box. When she's done with her 60 seconds, she quickly sprints back in and immediately starts stiff punching Cora from behind. She beats her down, slamming her into the barricades, turnbuckles, ring post. When she gets her back in the ring, she hits a chiropractor and pinning Cora for the 3 count. Dakota now has a point. She goes into the penalty box for her 60 seconds. These two are still even against each other, and the only ones with points in this match. Dakota hits a step up enziguri on Davina. Davina turns and gets hit with a code breaker from Cora. Taya hits a springboard blockbuster on Cora. Taya's in the corner eyeing Davina, and Davina not knowing what's going on. Taya charges, but quickly Davina gets out of the way, and she spears Dakota and turns her inside out. Davina, in fear for her life, is holding her heart. Taya follows on top of Dakota and pins. 1, 2, 3. Davina realizes she could have stopped it, but it's too late. Taya now has a point. Davina hits a springboard moonsault to Cora on the outside. Taya lifts Cora up there powerbomb style. Dakota climbs up the penalty box and runs and jumps off. It does a flying lariat that drops her to roaring cheers from the crowd. Cora grabs Taya and drags her in the ring, but gets quickly grabbed by Davina and tossed out of the ring. Davina quickly covers Cora for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Davina now has a point. She laughs as the crowd boos. Taya and Davina have a small alliance and work on Dakota as Cora is in the penalty box for 60 seconds. Cora comes out to the crowd getting loud as each one of them now have a point now, and they all stare each other down as Cora gets back in the ring and they all get close to each other. Dakota Kai puts Taya in a sharpshooter. While this is going on, Cora puts Davina in the Boston Crab as they're face-to-face, hitting their submissions. They end up dropping both, receiving a point as they both tap as the crowd is hyped. Dakota Kai and Cora Jade both have points now. They both have 2 points now. Taya and Davina both go to the penalty box. Dakota Kai and Cora don't break eye contact as they're face-to-face, and Taya and Davina get escorted to the penalty box. No more sneaking each other in the match. It's now one-on-one as they're both trying to wrestle each other, and it's like a luchador standoff between the two, denying each other any moves. It's like evenly matched. Davina and Taya can now be seen together talking in the penalty box. They come out instantly doing tag team moves. Taya grabbing Dakota's arms while Davina punches her chest. Cora tries to help, but they kick her in the stomach and do double DDTs to her. Davina grabs Cora and places her in one corner as Taya grabs Dakota and places her in the opposite corner. They slowly sit them at the top as Davina does a super Bailey to belly and Taya does the super Tiger Bomb. They both pin for the 1, 2, 3. They're both in the penalty box now, and they look around. The crowd goes nuts. They immediately start swinging at each other as nothing can stop them in the middle of the penalty box, and the crowd is even louder. They both keep swinging as Davina and Taya catch their breaths. Dakota and Cora don't stop, like I said, in the penalty box as the timer goes off. They fling each other at the same time through the glass as the crowd goes nuts, and they're still going at it as the crowd chants, "Holy shit." Davina and Taya use this opportunity to beat on them both. Davina does a sunset flip to Kai ringside that sends her flying backwards into the steel steps. Layla has been gone for months and that makes her return as she has a steel pipe and takes out Chica's Locust to the roar of the crowd. Davina freaking out in the ring as she has to do it by herself and can't rely on cheating. Dakota Kai takes advantage and does a scorpion kick that drops her and quickly pins. 1, 2, Davina ends up kicking out to the surprise from the crowd. It's still 2 points for everyone as each of them slowly pick themselves back up. Davina does a running sunset flip and uses her upper body strength to throw Dakota into the corner as Dakota does a running missile dropkick to her right after. Davina gets a dusting, like she does like the dusting her hands off thing, but Cora hits a half Nelson suplex to her from behind. Frustrated Cora can't beat Dakota. She starts working more heelish now, working more aggressive, raking the eyes and choking her more in the fight. She finally has had enough of her and drags her outside. A strong Irish whips her several times to the ring post. The fourth Irish whip sends Dakota's body flying as she's out. EMTs, refs come out immediately to check her out. They go to put her on the stretcher. The crowd is worried about Dakota. Davina runs over and punches her several times. She rips her off the stretcher while Tyra and Cora are fighting in the crowd. Davina runs with her. Irish whips her in the ring. Dakota's slow to get up, crawling on all fours as Davina hits Rose Plant to a booing crowd. She pins 1, 2, 3. She now has 3 points. We have 30 seconds left as Davina is laughing in the ring. Taya and Cora jump Davina, and then as they try to pull her in for the pin, they both neither one can get it as they both keep stopping each other's pin. The crowd boos as Davina's music hits, and she is considered to be the winner as Chica's Locust come out to celebrate, picking her barely moving body up as Davina smiles. She's holding the contract to a women's title match. Finn.
This is where you
I'll go
motherfuckers
first
give a
again.
grade.
You're one of the motherfuckers who could give a grade.
Nah, I go third, fourth, or fifth. I need to gather my thoughts. Especially this late in the show, you know
There's
I am
not that
under the
many to
influence.
pick up.
I'm under the influence.
High under the influence. I'm gonna give this.
What did I tell you about that?
4.5.
I told you stop it.
So you got
I'm gonna
4.5.
give you a 4.5. Yep, I like the majority of it. I really like the match. It's pretty much like an Iron Survivor.
It is Iron Survivor. It was an Iron Survivor.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but you called it what?
A fatal. It was because we said fatal foreplay.
Fatal foreplay. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, which is why it's not a 5. But the right person one, I liked the heel Davina one with heel shit essentially. Them fighting each other in the penalty box and then breaking it. Fire. Yeah. 5 for that. But yeah, 4.5.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I wasn't sure if it was actually
and also
fatal
the fact that
foreplay or
you
if you
had.
just said that.
Oh no, it's called that. Yeah, if I said it, I meant it.
And I also with Davina Bailey winning, I think it also leads with you having Lyra as a babyface champion. I think it gives you more options too with that. Like, will she cash in on her or whatever? So,
yep, exactly.
I can go next. I love the Otis Poppins randomly.
He used to be showing up.
Yeah, he's just randomly there sometimes, and I fucking love that. It's so random, but it gets me every time. And then I thought that the match was really good too. I didn't really feel like the story was there for me though, personally. But the match definitely carried it for sure. So I'm going 3.75 on this.
And Damone, what was your number exactly?
4.5.
4.5.
I liked it. It wasn't perfect, but it was damn near close. I'm going with the 4 or 5.
I appreciate you.
I didn't realize I was muted. I was talking. This was a 5 till you reminded me that you called it a fatal foreplay.
Shit pissed me off.
Yeah, that made me really mad. Like, I don't know what a fair grade is for that, or like a fair whatever deduction. But I'm gonna take it to a 4.75 because I can't justify more than a quarter for a word. But you're on thin ice, Buster. Cruising for a bruising.
I'm gonna be the hater on this one, not by a whole lot. I think that you did pick the right person to win, and that does a lot of it because it does set up a good match for you, like Damone said. But similarly, your babyface options, I'm struggling to get into them. So like what you're doing is you're booking these like heels that like I do hate or like that I do root against, but I'm just really struggling to get into the baby faces I'm supposed to root for. That's been my biggest issue with this like show today. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't even bad. It was pretty good. Just not as good as they said, in my opinion.
The baby faces in this one this was more just these two have been tied and they're trying to figure out who's going to win between these two, like that kind of thing. And that's really it for these two. Like they're just trying to see who's the better person, but it's just
I felt like it was obvious from start to finish that Davina Rose was winning this. Like no shot in hell anybody else was winning. But I'm only gonna go down to like a 325. It wasn't bad by any means. It was solid. I just think it could have been better, but I still enjoyed it. And I am looking forward to the Davina and Lyra match. I think that's going to be a lot better than this.
Okay. All right. Time for not the main event, but last match of the night. So we see Wade Barrett is backstage warming up before his match with Jacob Fatu with the camera on him. He's standing there adjusting his elbow pad, but he gets knocked out of frame by a figure. The camera shows him on the ground. As we pan up, we see Drew McIntyre. He picks him up and continues to throw him against the lockers. This continues to happen until security and the other DPW wrestlers hold him back. Later that night, Lauren Thompson flags down Drew McIntyre and asks him why he did what he did. It's simple. TDJ has been saying he rewards people by making a statement. So I said to myself, find the biggest and the baddest wrestler, then beat him up. Don't take it personal, Wade. You just happen to be the unlucky son of a bitch in the locker room at the time. I'm here to make a name for myself. But if we're done talking about people that are relevant, I have a match against Kane. He walks away as she looks concerned. Drew McIntyre goes against Kane, and Kane being older isn't what he used to be. Drew works him over really good, and Kane's body can't take anymore as Drew grabs him by the neck and throws him down. He hits a future shock DDT, and Kane is unconscious as the ref is ready to count for the pin. He pins 1, 2, and Drew pulls his head up as the crowd boos. He hits another future shock DDT. He pins 1, 2, and Drew pulls his head up once more. He picks him up for another future shock DDT, and Kane can barely get up as he hits another. As we see, his mask is cracked open and blood is pouring out of it. Drew stands over him as the ref begs him to end it. He hits another future shock DDT as the ref calls for the match. Drew, pissed off, grabs the ref and throws him. He calls for the Claymore and hits the ref with it. The crowd boos and security has to restrain Drew as he's become more and more unhinged. He laughs as he gets escorted away. On an episode of Pacto del Dolor later that week, Judas Macias is in a match against Conan for the #1 contendership for Alberto Del Rio's Pacto del Dolor World Championship. Drew shows up and immediately claymores Judas. And the bell rings, the crowd boos and starts throwing things at him as he stands there like doing that little like shrugging things he does. And he continues to beat him up. They boo as he walks away and continue to throw things at him. Tony Atlas is backstage with Malcolm Bivens as Tony gives him a look as Drew smiles and runs off as security escorts him out. Back on DPW the next week, Drew calls for Mike and says, I want to give an apology for my actions as of late. Maybe I was wrong. I wanted to prove against all the other Titans that I was the big dog, that I was the biggest bully. I see the error of my ways. So for anyone that feels like I have wronged them should be the bigger man and not retaliate. The crowd boos. You should do the right thing and forgive me. Like these fans forgive me. The crowd boos even louder. I'm only human. My focus is now on being a champion. Thank you for listening to me before I take on this journey. The crowd boos as he smirks. The next week, Drew is against Fatu, and Drew has him down. He calls for the Claymore. The crowd is loud with cheers as Wade is behind him on the apron and rakes his face from behind. The ref calls for the bell as Wade beats him down in the ring. Security swarm the arena as "Let them fight" chants flood the arena. They're being pulled off each other, but they continue to beat up any nearby security. Paul Heyman comes out to try to defuse the situation, but doesn't get any better as this fight continues to go on for longer. Heyman runs backstage frantically as he can't get them together. He runs to TDJ's office and opens the office door as we see the statement standing by the door. But you can barely see TDJ in the back with his jacket, like with his sleeves rolled up, with blood all over his hands as we see someone on the ground holding their face. Mr. Perfect quickly turns his head as Heyman closes the door quickly, acting like he never saw it. I think he would want me to take care of this one. He comes back out, and Drew is in the ring with Wade ringside. Drew climbs the turnbuckle and does a senton bomb off, taking down Wade and security. The crowd is loud cheering. Drew picks up Wade, still hitting his back. Wade tackles him into the barricade and breaks through. We see fans swarm the area as they all want to get closer to the madness. More security comes out and grabs them. Paul yells, "I'm tired of this. You two are ending this right now." And then he says, "I'm Miles in. You two want each other so bad. You got it. No holds barred." The crowd gets loud as more security is pulling them apart, and they both try to get at each other still. He says, "You guys make sure they don't see each other till then." The next week, Wade, pissed off, says, "I worked too damn hard to let this motherfucker take everything I earned, everything I hold so dear to me, everything I sacrificed for. When I see you, it's on. The day you put your hands on me was the day I reached in my chest, took out my heart, and replaced it with ice. My motto used to be by any means necessary. Now it's bar none, fade all." After he finishes his speech, he walks past the camera crew as he goes looking for Drew. Paul tells him, "If you keep this up, I will have no choice but to ban you from the arena. You will have to stay home for the safety of both of you," and Drew to avoid fighting each other. Wade doesn't move. Paul says, "Get him out of here. He's done for the night." Later that night, Drew has an interview with Demetria Obalor, and he says, "Wade, you want to go against me? How dumb are you? You must have 2 brain cells, and both of them are fighting for 3rd place. Do you not realize what I do in that ring? This is going to hurt me more than, who am I kidding? This is really going to hurt you. I'm going to torture you in ways you can never imagine. And you know why you won't beat me? You won't beat me because you don't have enough hate towards me. I'm going to make you hate me." And later on, Drew is in a match with Penta. He's being super aggressive with him. He calls for the Claymore, then stops and rolls out of the ring. Everyone's confused on why he's doing this as the ref counts him out while he's walking backstage. We see on the Dynatron that Alberto Del Rio flexing his new car in the parking lot at Dirty Dom. We see Drew showing up smiling and nodding like he cares about what he's saying. "Can I see the keys?" He's like, "They're still in the vehicle, my friend." And Drew says, "Good to know." Then he hops in as Alberto yells, "Wait, wait, wait." He laughs and drives off. Paul Heyman tells Otis and Ivar to go follow him. Wade is in his hotel, and we hear housekeeping in a strong Scottish accent. Wade opens the door, and Drew immediately starts swinging on him, and they both get into a swinging battle. This continues until Otis and Ivar pull them off each other, and more security comes and arrests them both for the time being. It's night of the event. We see Drew coming to the arena in his black trunks with the blue trim. He immediately starts walking to the ring. He immediately starts walking to the ring as the music hits late because they weren't ready. Wade comes from behind and starts swinging on him, dressed in all black with red trim. They both get into a swinging match as they slam each other into the barricade. Drew hits him with the sidewalk slam. Wade hits a crucifix bomb. Wade slips in a rear naked choke, but Drew bites his hand as the crowd is wincing. Drew hits a superplex on Wade. They both lay there in pain. Wade pulls out an air raid siren. Wade clothesline Drew over the barricade. The fight gets into the crowd. Drew grabs someone's drink and drinks a little bit of it and throws it in Wade's face. Drew hits a power slam in the way onto the catering table in the hallway. At one point, Wade rips the outside mat off, exposing the concrete floor. He pulls Drew onto the apron, and as everyone gets up at the same time, Wade suplexes Drew off the apron and onto the concrete floor. Holy shit chants start as they both are in pain. Wade throws Drew into the ring post, and he goes headfirst into the crowd. He goes headfirst into it as the crowd winces. Wade hits a stiff lariat on Drew ringside, and Wade picks up the ring steps, but Drew does a claymore that hits Wade. The crowd is loud with cheers. Drew drags him and tries to put him in the ring. Too much time passes as he covers him, and he kicks out at 2. Excuse me. Drew hits a belly-to-belly into the corner. Wade goes for a bull hammer, but Drew ducks and hits a Glasgow kiss headbutt, and Wade drops to a knee. Drew hits a future shock DDT onto the stage above the ramp. Wade hits an Indian deathlock and yells, "Do you yield?" He cranks the lock harder as Drew screams out in pain, but Drew punches at his left knee to get him off. Drew and Wade get into a knife-edge chop battle, and we see them breaking skin. Wade calls for a bull hammer from the top rope. When he jumps off, Drew hits a claymore. The crowd is loud as he covers him. 1, 2. Wade kicks out in a very close call as the crowd's still loud. They both lay there, but Drew kips up. Drew snatches the ref up and takes off his belt and continues to beat Wade until while he's on all fours. And to the point where Wade gets all the way, let's see. So the hits no longer hit, causing damage. He hits a bull hammer before he can drop. Still holding his arm. He hits another. Still holding his arm. He hits another one. Still holding his arm. He hits one more. He pins 1, 2, and Drew violently kicks out. Wade gets another lariat off, but this time he turns Drew inside out. Drew tries to throw Wade over the ropes, but the ropes trap his neck, choking him. So he's like hanging, like holding onto the ropes. He's being choked by it. As Wade is kicking his legs out until the ref helps him. Drew hits an emerald flosion. Drew goes for a diving double axe handle, but Wade uppercuts his gut, causing him to flip forward. Drew copies the bull hammer, then sends Wade going back into the ropes. He used the momentum and bounces off and hits his own claymore. The crowd is loud as they both lay there. Wade hits a bull hammer that makes Drew stumble backwards, taking several steps back. Then he charges forward and does a claymore as the crowd is hyped as they both are laid out. They are both slow to get up, and they both have their fists up. The match ends with Wade and Drew McIntyre laying there still in a time limit draw. As the crowd chants 5 more minutes, so they're like 5 more minutes, and these two are forward to forehead going off on each other. Gunther's music hits. He comes out and they both look confused. Without saying a word, with one hand behind his back and the other, he puts his hand out to shake his hand. A little hesitant, Wade looks at him. We see Gunther talking to him, but can't make out what he's saying. Then we hear him say, "Do you know how many security guards talent backstage it took to stop you two individually? You two tried to kill each other, and what did we get? Neither one of you could do it. You two, let's face it, are equals. In a way, you two respect each other, but under my guidance, we could be something more. It's bigger than us. Imagine what we could do if we worked together. Yes, even with Drew." And Wade looks at Drew. Drew looks at him aggressively. As Wade looks back at him, then he turns to Gunther, looks down, then looks back at Gunther, and turns his body so they're both facing Drew. Drew McIntyre has his guard up. They both turn to Drew, and Gunther extends his hand out as well. And Drew is still talking to him. Gunther says, "This is all." He's like, "This is all in the past. There is work to be done. Stand with me, brother. We will be all too powerful. Don't you want to be a part of history? You want it to be the biggest and the baddest. Nobody can tell us anything. They will have to acknowledge us. They will have to bend the knee to us." And Drew is pissed because he still wants to fight him, but understands how big this opportunity is. He scowls and shakes his hand. He brings them both in for a hug, embracing them both as he talks in each of their ears. He turns and they both do like that little I forget the group's called now. Gunther's group doing that pose. He turns and then and Wade stands there too, looking on. And Drew turns and looks up. Imperium. I don't know why I was blanking on the name. And they both look off as well. So now we have a new faction it's what's his name? As Michael Cole tells us that we have a new team here coming. What's going to happen next? Let's see him.
Joe, you want to go first? I'm still thinking.
I feel like this was not the one for me, if I'm being honest. I don't like that there was 2 walkouts within 4 matches too. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, I thought the match was okay.
Yeah, this was just a very stiff match. This wasn't supposed to be like a really flashy match. They're just literally killing each other. It's like an AEW kind of match. They're just hurting each other, hitting their finishers, and they're kicking out. It's like they've done their finishers to you multiple times, and neither one got the win. It was just kind of just went the time limit draw.
Right. I'm gonna go just a little above medium here and just do 275.
Okay.
I'm in the opposite way of thinking. This actually was the most for me it's been. I think these two would have good chemistry because they're kind of like similar amounts of like everything in their wrestling style, if that makes sense. Like they're a similar parts brawler, powerful, little hints of like strong style. Drew can flip a little bit. So I think they would work really well together. I thought the story was overall pretty good too. Though Joe did point out the 2 walkouts. But I won't hurt you on that too bad. This is the match of the night for me. It's my favorite thing I've seen. I'm going to give this it's not a 5, but it's a 4.50.
I'll take that. Anyone else?
Yeah.
So-
Go ahead.
Oh,
Can you
I
give me
like
that?
the
Summarize the
idea
hold on,
of-
summarize
or-
the finish
or-
for me real quick.
The finish was pretty much it was like they were both hitting their finishes. It's like I said, AEW. He hits the bull hammer. He kind of like walks back, bounces off the ropes, does his claymore, and they both are laid out. Time limit draw. Gunther comes out, pretty much tells them like, y'all been fighting, and where's that gotten y'all? They ain't got y'all nowhere. We need to all work together because you see how it took the all security to break y'all up, and they still couldn't do anything. Imagine what all 3 of us can do together. And then they all kind of they both kind of like hesitant. And then
We got the
Wade,
European Union.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. At first, that's okay. I don't know why, but sitting with it and then you re-explaining it just now, it triggered something in my head that made me like this. I at first didn't like that I liked everything up until them joining forces.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminds me of when William Regal debuted on AEW and made Danielson and Moxley kiss and make up after their fight. So, but more of like in a different way. It's reminiscent of it. So I'm gonna give you a 5.
Hey. Mike.
I'm not going to give you a 5, but
no?
the way Travis, I'm glad I went after Travis because that did add points back because I was right there too, where I didn't love most of it, but I hated at first. I hated that they were really willing to kill each other, and then Gunther came out and they were fine with they're not best friends, but they are
They're not
forming
best
a
friends.
group together. Yeah, I did not like that. But Travis, including how Blackpool Combat Club came together, does help. It does help you a lot. So I'm gonna give this a 4. I think overall, I think the match was great. The story was okay, not my favorite or anything. But it does make more sense with thinking about Blackpool Combat Club and the idea that they're forming together to take over works.
This story of them being in a blood feud and then reluctant tag team partners has a lot of potential.
Exactly.
So this could be your magnum opus of this Book It verse, this storyline. I see a lot of potential avenues you can go down, and if you go down the right ones, I think it could be really good.
And I
I
will say
agree.
that was the thing I was worried about because I was like, I feel like because I felt the same way like y'all felt like, okay, they're gonna hate this because they don't like the fact they just got no blood feud and now they're joining up. But I feel like yes, they hate each other and they're willing to work together, but that doesn't mean they like each other. It's just they have a purpose they have to go through. And Gunther being the one to do it, yeah.
Maybe they'll grow to like each other again. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. A lot of things that happen.
Isn't that how the bar got together? They did that best of 7.
Yeah,
And they ended up being
it was the
friends
bar.
after that. They reluctant partners, and then they became the bar.
Yeah, the bar, the Unholy Alliance.
I mean,
what
it's a
was
wrestling trope.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, what was the female group? What's Killer Kelly and
Masha.
Masha?
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra. Yeah, they all did that trope.
Yeah.
I was definitely lower until Travis spoke about it.
You're welcome, Kenny.
It was a good match. It was an alright story. 3.75.
Both people after me said that they were going to give you lower scores until they heard my testimony.
That's fine. I appreciate it. That's why I said I'm not gonna lie to you. This was one of the ones I figured y'all would not like, but I was like, this is how it's going. This is how it's going to go. I don't care. Like it was just that kind of thing. It was like, this is how their story starts.
I
Y'all
have
can
a
hate
few
it,
of those.
but I was like, y'all can hate it, but this is how their story starts. This is how they get into the group. They had to hurt each other in order to love each other. Ain't that? They had to hurt each other.
Okay, stop talking. You're gonna bring your score back down.
Nope, score's locked in. Can't do it. But yeah, it was. I just wanted to do that, to have these two literally to the point where it's like, okay, they trying to kill each other. Gunther comes in. It's like, listen, we got some shit to do.
The ring
Hey.
general.
But now we got 3 matches coming. I thought for some reason I thought it was 4 we had coming, but we got Tiffany Stratton versus almost said Miley Cyrus, Mickey James. Tiffany Stratton versus Mickey James. We got what was the other match? Gunther versus Shawn Michaels and LA Knight against Stone Cold against The Rock. So that's what's coming next week for DPW.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to next week.
Hey,
And-
John, push your mic back. You just about blew my eardrums out.
That does it for this week. And look forward to next week. Before we go, first of all, High Five Mike, can we find you anywhere yet?
No.
Man, he didn't even tell us to fuck off this time. He's really low spirited.
Wait, no.
Wearing them down.
Fuck off.
There we go. That's the mic I know. D Money, what about you?
He didn't feel that fuck off. I didn't feel it. You can find me on all the things, even shit owned by Elon Musk is a piece of shit human being. At Dumb Money Book It. So D Money spelled out Book It. And I'm not spelling it for you. If you can't spell it, that's on you. Go to school.
Mike
your
was
vitamins
too
to your
enthusiastic about his fuck off. Normally he's just like, no, fuck off. But this time he was like, no, fuck off. He put his
Can we
high
just fucking
pussy
finish
into
this
it.
goddamn
I knew
show?
that was
Can we-
coming.
can we-
You can say you put some ussy in there. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I knew it was a setup for the pussy. It
hate it.
always is.
It's just me, ussy.
Yeah.
Ew, what
go
the
to the
fuck?
next person. Next person.
We're not eating.
No.
No,
We
we're
ain't-
not
We ain't eating our ussies anymore.
All right. Bad guy, tell much shows.
You can catch me on all social media at Bad Guy Spoken. Catch the Bad Guy Spoken podcast on YouTube. And you can also catch Hood Movie Review all your favorite, not so favorite movies.
Bet that up. What about you, Travi?
You can follow me with your whole Travussy at I am Travi T on all social media. That's at IAMTRAVVYT on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and all the other ones.
And
What about
lastly, what
we
about you,
do?
Jussie?
I'm making notes to dock all of you guys that made those references, just so you know. So y'all getting points docked just for that.
Collusion.
Yeah, just putting your ussy in it.
God damn it. Kenny, now I gotta dock you next week. Actually you can find me in Stormwind after this with my guild.
I almost tried to do a guild once. They still mention it.
You got to give.
They don't fuck with guilds around here. They really don't. You're in the wrong parts, Joe.
That's
Lastly-
the 8th time he said that today.
No, I didn't say Joe at the end the other time.
Wow. There's that colorful language again.
Sorry,
Comment.
the South comes out of me sometimes.
Jesus.
Speaking
I thought
of,
he was about to say it's going to rise again.
anyways, if you want to catch a t-shirt and more information about our other shows, go to T1, the word 3 spelled out, media.com. So T13media.com, and go check out all your favorite shows, merchandise, and other things regarding your favorite cast members and shows. With that being said, my dog hates me, so that's been an episode of Book It. See ya.
Bye.